Hi everyone, welcome back to Mouth and Matter. My name is TT. If you haven't yet, make sure to smash that subscribe button. Please smash that subscribe button. It really helps, as well as like and comment anything you want. Welcome to Webtoon Watch. If you are new here, the way the structure kind of works is that I talk about the plot, I talk about the characters, I talk about my likes and dislikes, I say my theories, my rating, and like final thoughts. So going straight into this, the name of this webtoon is called Power Ballad by Molly Brooks, with the lettering done by Kat Velez, I believe. So the plot: when someone is stealing like this custom-made designer dresses in LA, this like international like pop star kind of takes it upon himself to find out who and why. So going straight into the characters, the person I was just talking about, her name is Karina Peterson. She's an international pop star, and she sort of moonlights as this kind of like masked vigilante in LA. She kind of wears this like skeleton costume so that no one can ID her, and she takes it upon herself to kind of just stop petty crime going on. And when she finds out that someone is stealing these like custom made dresses, she kind of takes it upon herself to like find out what's going on, why this is happening. And then the second character I'm going to talk about, last character I'm going to talk about, her name is Mira Verma. She is Karina Peterson's like assistant. So she's incredibly like highly capable. She's really constant, really hands-on, very thorough. She finds out that her boss, Karina Peterson, is moonlighting as this vigilante, and she kind of helps her. She mends her wounds when she comes out short. She like helps with the like protective padding of her costume. And she's a self-proclaimed like henchwoman, so there's that. So going into my likes and my dislikes. So the premise is very interesting. I really like the idea of like this kind of a whole double life kind of thing. It's very interesting. I really enjoy that. The next one is that I like the lingo and the conversation. It was very realistic. They'd have like this sort of like pseudo or whatever Twitter is in their world, this like Twitter convos, like let's say Twitter threads. Sorry, I don't use Twitter. So it's like these like Twitter threads. So like when Karina puts out music or something like that, so we'll see this very like we'll see this very like realistic to what people in the real world would talk like. And I like that. I really enjoyed that. You saw some haters, you saw some trolls, you saw some hugely supportive fans. It was just incredibly realistic. It wasn't cringy at all. I was like, yes, this is how people actually talk in the world. And also like just the normal conversation between characters, like that was great. That wasn't cringy. That wasn't like I didn't have to like bury my face in a pillow and switch off my phone momentarily. Like it was good. It was okay. The third one is the relationships between people. When I see this, I mean relationships with your boss. I'm talking about relationship with your friends. Talking about relationships between our two main characters. They were all just really really nice. You know, like it was refreshing. It was refreshing because it was nice and wholesome and healthy. It was like, god damn, is it? So it's not even that hard to have healthy relationships depicted in fiction. Like, who knew? Who knew? The fourth thing is the diversity. Okay, Karina Peterson, she is half black, I believe. Mira, I'm not sure what her ethnicity or what her race is, but she's not white. I love seeing it. I love the diversity. The two main women, they are not straight. It's just diversity, and it really diverse. I don't know, like who's like, I think the only white man I can really think about there was Todd, and Todd's great. Todd's fantastic. I fucking love Todd. Like he's his own points down there, but it was just really like diverse, and it was like, yeah, this is what the world is, you know, diverse, you know what I mean? And they're in LA, which is one of the most like culturally and racially diverse places in America, if not the world. So like I was like, yeah, this is how it should be depicted. Like fifth thing I think is that the topics they approached, they did it really well, and it didn't feel like it was kind of like pandering. So they talked about sexism, there was like slut shaming, and possible racism. I think just slides. I don't know. I was like, I picked up something. I was like, you didn't have to say that, but it was intentional. Like the creator put it in that way. So I was like, What happened was that there was this, I think she was this artist assistant, this designer's assistant, and she was like, yeah, we're so happy when Karina and Mira were trying to like investigate further into what was happening with the dresses. One of their possible suspects, they went to go visit him, and then the assistant was like, we're so happy you came to visit us, we're always trying to move into younger, and then there was like ellipsis, you know, those 3 dots, younger, more urban, crowds. And I don't know why, but I quirked an eyebrow to urban. I was like, okay. But yeah, it didn't feel like it was pandering. It just felt like, yeah, this is what happens on the daily. Like, this is what happens, she's a half black woman. She's like, yeah, this is what goes on, I think this is the 6th thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is probably the 6th thing. But I really like how she was jacked. She had muscles, and I was like, yeah, this is what I like to see, because a lot of times when I'm like reading anything, like the main character who's undergoing some like training type shit montage, like her body doesn't change, and she's still this very like still sort of delicate, still kind of lean and everything, and it's like that's not really realistic in the line of work that you're doing. Like Karina, for example, she's an entertainer, and in some way, shape or form, being an entertainer, like, you have to be somewhat healthy. You know what I mean? You just have to be somewhat healthy, because like, guys, being an entertainer isn't easy. Like, just standing, like that kind of like lung capacity, standing up on stage and singing, especially if you're dancing as well, especially if you're hectic lifestyle, like, you kind of just have to be sort of on the ball with your health in whatever shape or form you're doing it. I don't know how, but yeah. And then also, I mean, she moonlights as a vigilante, so like, she's running after people. Nobody's gonna like be like, yeah, okay, you've caught me, I'll stop. Especially seeing that she's not taking them to the police, she's just like stopping them. So it's like, they're not gonna stop, so like, bitch has to run, bitch has to catch them. So yeah, what I liked, again, this is my 3rd point. So Todd, I need a Todd in my life. I really need a Todd in my life. He's just really just nice and wholesome. He's just here to support. He's nice. He has his own life. He's great. He's just so sweet. I definitely need a Todd in my life. And like, it was so nice. I didn't want any of that cringy nice guy shit. He was just so nice. He was just so sweet. He was nice in the sense of nice. He wasn't a nice guy. You know what a nice guy is, but he was a nice guy, yeah. I'm not sure what point this is, but like, this is how you do a workplace romance. You know what I mean? Like, this is how you do one effectively. Like, usually when I'm reading workplace romances, it is a heterosexual couple, so it's, man and woman. The girl's probably younger. She's probably at a lower station than he is. Like, he's probably the CEO, and she just came in, and she's like automatically like the assistant or something like that. You know what I mean? And it's very abrupt. The relationship is very abrupt. Like, it just starts, the infatuation, the attraction, it's just there. And it's like, that's not how real life works. And that's no, and like, contrast this to Power Ballad, where Mira has been Karina's assistant for like, I don't know, was it 2 years they said? I don't know, I'm not sure, and I don't want to like say something wrong, but like, she's been her assistant for a long ass time. Like, and then, okay, so usually in those workplace romances, like, the guy is usually very kind of toxic, very possessive, very unprofessional, and you don't see this in Power Ballad. You know what I mean? Like, they do try to add, which is my next point. My next point is that they did something really smart in making it like an assistant, in the sense of it's in a very informal setting, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's in a very informal setting, and so it's not like the unprofessionalism doesn't really scream out. You know, there's a sort of way you conduct yourself in an office and the way you conduct yourself at home. Still, if you are paying someone, you still have to like have like a modicum of like of modicum of how you comport yourself, as well as the person that you're paying has to have that kind of thing. But when you are someone's assistant for that long a time, and you've become more than an assistant, you're a friend, you're a confidant, you are someone that they go to, I mean, you pretty much know the darkest secret, like the secret that no one has told. Like, it kind of transcends just that kind of ordinary like workplace kind of rigid structure. You know what I mean? Especially, like I said, it's in an informal setting. When I say an assistant, I'm talking an LA assistant to like a pop star. So she's running around doing shit. She's out here making, just doing errands. She's talking down fires. She's stopping things from happening. She's making sure things happen. She's arranging things. She has contacts everywhere. She just, that kind of assistant, you know what I mean? So it's not in an office, and that's really interesting. What I also like was that the power dynamic, like I said, they became more like friends, not a rigid kind of like, oh, this is my boss, she can fire me anytime kind of person, which is what I notice always happens in those workplace rooms, at least the ones I've read, guys, and I've read a lot of them. Okay, like, yeah, I have, and it's always kind of toxic, because it's like, this man can fire you at any time if you don't do what he wants you to do. You know what I mean? So it's like, so is this really nice? Is this really like reciprocal, or like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously it comes out as reciprocal, but at the same time I'm like, yeah, it seems like the main character, the girl, always, you know, wants it and so on and so forth, fine, but like at the same time it's like, this man can fully fire you. You know what I mean? Which is why I liked, there was this, I don't know what to call him, but there was this guy who was saying, who kind of like was under, I think, a talent manager or something like that, like a talent agency guy, and he was under he was the one who sort of, I think, contracted Mira to be Karina's assistant. So what I'm saying is that if somehow, for some reason, Karina fired Mira, she still had that guy, and that guy would probably just put her under some other, like, what's it called, some other pop star to be an assistant for. So it wasn't like, oh, this is my safety net, like, I don't have a safety net, if I get fired, that's it. Like, if she gets fired, or if she decides to leave, and she did want to leave in the end, she wanted to be like a talent manager, I believe Mira wanted to be a talent manager, and she left, by the way, which is another thing that I like. So that's another, like, there's a power balance, because she eventually left Karina's like assistant job, and she became her own like boss in her own right. At least she wasn't working under Karina, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, yeah, so there's no like, oh, this person can fire me kind of thing. And I liked seeing the feelings from both of them, both sides, kind of from the beginning of the story, and kind of like their internal thoughts. And you know, Mira was confiding in Todd. I saw how they were thinking. It was like, yeah, we don't want to cross any boundaries, this is it, this is how it is. It was healthy. So dislikes, onto my dislike section. So the art isn't my fave, but that's, you know, more to my taste. The art was nice, the orange, maybe it was the orange that kind of threw me off, because it's a very like high mix of like orange and then little shades of white, hence the white I'm wearing. But oh, also my book is orange, so let's say I have orange, and you know, I've done the theme. Okay, so the art isn't my favorite, but like I said, that's probably more my taste. Yeah, the ending was kind of neat and a bit anticlimactic. Like, how it ended was that the person who was stealing all those dresses was stealing it because they were contracted by this other person to steal it from, and then this other person was contracted by this older woman who didn't know that they were stealing it like that, but who just wanted to buy. She thought that they were just going to like buy the dresses, but those people who were stealing it stole it from the older woman because she had it was kind of convoluted, kind of confusing, but the nitty-gritty of it was the older woman just wanted to buy off all those other Marco Gallo dresses, her late husband's dresses, so that she could kind of sell them as a collection. Okay, stay with me. So she asked someone to do this. She contracted someone to you know, like, hey, can you like buy off dresses from other people? Fine. But this person was shady and told out like, hey, anyone who can find Marco Gallo dresses, do it. We don't really care how you end up doing it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So if you want to steal, like, go ham. So those people end up going to go and, you know, steal the dress. At one point, they steal the dress literally off the woman's back because, like, they don't know that she's the original contractor, but she just has a Marco Gallo dress on. So it's like, oh, okay. So they do that. They steal from other people. It's like, it was just, I don't know, it was just so confusing. It wasn't confusing, but it was just so anticlimactic. Like, it was like, oh, so you mean this was it? This was it? But I mean, maybe it's never that deep. Like, you know, it was, yeah. I'll talk about it more in my final thoughts, I think. Okay, another thing I disliked was, this is the third thing, was the personal connection kind of wasn't there. Like, Karina is looking for the dresses, the custom dresses by her late estranged father, Marco Gallo. And this same Marco, like I said, the older woman was married to the older woman. Right, stay with me. Now, Marco Gallo kind of cheated on the older woman with Karina's mom, who was, I think, also the older woman's friend. And so, yeah, that's how Karina is born. Those are her parents. Her mom was an actress. Her dad, or her biological father, was, you know, Marco Gallo. I say biological father because he wasn't really more of a dad figure. It was just, yeah, that's just, you know, yeah. So, I mean, but I kind of chalked it up to, you know, it's never that deep. You know, she's not like a teenager or whatever seeking parental kind of like any parental grasp or whatever kind of a parental connection. Nah, her dad was an asshat, so, and she's fine. She lived with her mom. Her mom died though. But yeah, it wasn't, I guess it's never that deep, you know. Both her parents are dead. She's an adult. It's fine. I'm sure she's talked it all up in therapy, or she hasn't, and it's fine and it's cool and it's never that deep, and I'm reading too much into it. So yeah. Also, there wasn't really any kind of stakes in. You would think that there'd be stakes for kind of like, you know, I just never felt like, oh my gosh, she's going to be found out, or oh my gosh, she's in danger, or oh my, it was just kind of like, no, she'll be fine, you know what I mean? Which isn't a necessarily bad thing, but like, it kind of just made the whole thing, not the whole thing, but like, there wasn't really a sense of urgency, because I was like, no, everything will be fine. I don't think she's going to be found out. She's going to be okay, you know? Yeah, they didn't really like raise the stakes that much, so there wasn't like a sense of pressure, like, god damn, this is gonna happen if we don't do this, or so on and so forth. Like, in the end, all that happened, it was just kind of annoying, because it was like, all of this that happened because of, it wasn't even like the fault of the older woman. Like, I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, so I'm just calling her the older woman, or should I just call her, I don't know, I cannot remember. Was it Katie? I feel like it had like a K. I feel like it had like a K in it. No, I don't think it was Katie. But yeah, it was like, oh, okay, you mean Mira got kidnapped for all of that? You know what I mean? Which, I mean, they poke fun at. They kind of, you know, they brought that to attention. Like, God damn, I got kidnapped for that. And Karina was like, oh my gosh, you mean I just promised the police, the head of police, that I'm not going to be the mask vigilante anymore for all of that? Because what happened was that the policewoman had sort of like winked, nudge, nudge, that she knew Karina was like the mask vigilante, and she was like, hey, if I happen to turn a blind eye on this, I'm sure this mask vigilante will not pop up, because I don't need that in Jesus, I don't need that in my town. I don't need people taking the law onto their hands. And she was like, yeah, okay, I understand. They weren't like overtly saying that they knew what was going on, but like it was implied. Fine. Okay, so theory time. Wedding bells, anyone? I am predicting wedding bells just because, like, why not? I mean, not if not for like Karina and Mira, then maybe for like Todd and his girlfriend. They're rather cute, you know. Yeah, and I hope I hope the older woman just like lives a bomb ass life. You know what I mean? I really like relate to her. She just wants to not stay at home, but like just like she's not. I think she said she's a recluse, which I mean, I do that. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, I'm not. If no wedding for like Mira and Karina, if they don't want one. Not that a wedding is like the epitome of like like this is the structure for love, but like it's just cute sometimes. Marriage weddings are sometimes really cute. So yeah, so my rating, I'm gonna give this like a solid 7 out of 10. It was good, it was cute, it was nice, it was okay. I think this is the surest I've ever been for a rating. Like it's like this is a 7 out of 10, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So on to my final thoughts. While it was anticlimactic, is that like, what can one do? You know what I mean? Like, she's not being a superhero. I don't even think that's what we should call her. It wasn't really like that. It was more like, oh, she's a masked vigilante. You know what I mean? She's just doing stuff. You know what I mean? It wasn't that deep. That wasn't her. She never really had a personal connection to that. We were never really shown that, oh, this is a huge part of her identity. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't really have a problem with her not being one anymore. I don't really have a problem with her stopping it like that. I don't really have a problem with her going off on tour and doing whatever. Like, it's fine, you know what I mean? It doesn't really bother me, you know. When I realized like what the ending was going to be, like, at first I was like, why would they do that? Like I said before, like, why is it this like confusing, like conflict, not confusing, kind of like convoluted ending? Like, why would they do it like that? You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, maybe I kind of prefer the ending like this, because like at least now I'm not seeing like the evil old lady trope. You know what I mean? Like, at least I'm not seeing her being bitter. At least I'm not seeing her like, she's fine. This lady is fine. She's great. She's doing her thing. She's living in a great house. I think she's going to be remodeled sometime soon. Like, she's fine. You know what I mean? So yeah, final thoughts. It was a good read. It wasn't that long of a read. Maybe 27 chapters, maybe. I'm not sure. It wasn't long. Like I said before, my Annarasumanara read, I expect something that like knows when to end it, knows when the story is over. Like, and it was cute. It was a cute read. I really enjoyed it. Really wholesome, really like heartwarming. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, this is cute. I enjoyed this. So yeah, if that's something you would like, go ahead and read it. Like I said, it's 7 out of 10 from me, you know, and it's ended, it's completed. So yeah. So yes, thank you for watching to the end. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to comment. I'm really interested in what you thought. I really want to know if like, yes, Titi, oh my gosh, thank you so much, you just validated what I've been thinking the whole time. Or you're like, nah, Titi, fucking square up. Like, no, you are wrong. Come on, I'm going to fight you. Like, I'm interested to know, you know. So yeah, thank you. This is Muffin Mata. This is TT. You watch Webtoon Watch, and yeah, bye.